intervention on this 59th day of 64 days of Ways to Peace, the Michael Chekhov Way. And intervention, wow, well, I'm having a little intervention in my body here, taking a rest. You know, when I was 6, I was suspended from first grade. I was definitely a disciplinary problem. In fact, in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher attempted to intervene in my world. What does it mean, an intervention? Intervention means to come between, right? To come in between. And in most cases, it is an effort to resolve a problem that is either developing, could be developing, so it's a preventive measure, or it's a therapeutic measure, meaning it's done to heal and resolve an existing vulnerability. It could be medical, could be emotional, could be drugs, addictions, things like that, behavioral, and it also it can be intentionally disruptive of an act of violence. So if you were on the street and you saw someone attack another person, an intervention would be you doing something, distracting them, reaching out to law enforcement, in some way taking an action safely, mind you, to disrupt and to separate the victim from the attacker, for example. So in my case, my struggles with behavior in kindergarten were sufficiently severe for my kindergarten teacher to attempt to intervene and get me to fail kindergarten. My mother refused, and then in first grade, when I was suspended, there was an official intervention with my parents, with the principal of the school, and it was definitely a complete life shift for me in a very positive way. So when we intervene with somebody, the first thing we're doing is we're noticing that there's a problem. So, for example, if I was in production and I started to see that there was a problem, I would start to feel a sense of uneasiness. The loss of a feeling of ease would arise. And this would alert me that there is some problem. And I would like to try then, if I become aware that there's a problem, of what is the problem, to assess the risk, basically, and figure out who and what maybe the problem sources are, understand who they are, gain some insight, turn to a professional if necessary. For example, in the theater industry, we now have people who take care to make sure that there is fairness, that there is safety on the set, and things like that. And certainly as a stunt woman, there were times when I needed to intervene. I needed to take a risk. In fact, several times I stopped the action on a set because I saw a danger, and it was a risk to my reputation, but not doing it, to me, was a risk either to my life or to someone else's life. It depends on what the various situations where I did intervene. So intervening does take a risk in terms of you accepting responsibility for becoming aware that there is an opportunity for you to help somebody. And it's going to take a team, usually, to support that. Like when my intervention by my parents and my teachers and the principal, it took a team. And so working with an ensemble, having a high level of sensitivity, but enough love to be able to want to take a strong action to help someone when the risk is there. Find professionals, find arbiters, find therapists, find organizations that can support the healing, the transformation, or support the prevention of the problems. A stitch in time saves 9. What does that mean? It means that if I have one stitch that's undone here and I catch that and I intervene, then the entire thing will not fall apart. I won't have to do 9 more stitches because I missed the one. So a stitch in time. Intervene with awareness, with love, with beauty, with peace, and more peace will come into the world when I surround myself with people who I know love me well enough to intervene if they see me going down the wrong path. This gives me a greater field of safety. And if I am supported to move in the opposite direction, move in a positive direction and away from negative activity, behavior, thoughts, etc., then my life and your life will be greater. So just love more, take the risk, and allow yourself to be intervened with and to support someone in a positive way. Thank you.